Well, as we enter the home stretch of this federal election campaign, politics in the workplace is starting to heat up and can sometimes get a little contentious. Joining me now is HR expert Debby Carreau. And Debbie, a recent survey found that over 50% of respondents witnessed a conversation in their workplace about politics that ended up getting a little heated. What can we do to avoid this?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Politics is getting more and more tricky, and it's getting more and more heated. And that number, almost half of people that have actually witnessed an altercation, is even higher among millennials, closer to 65%. So it's something you need to be really careful of. First of all, as an employer, they need to be really careful around putting parameters in place to make sure a workplace is respectful. So is it okay to talk about these things at work? Is there a way that we can do it where you're educating the people about different topics without sort of lending into people's personal opinions, and just making sure there's a safe place to exercise people's views without actually harassing or bullying or making someone feel badly or left out because of the way that they're feeling.
Absolutely. What about social media? I know for someone that works in media, in no way can we express our political views online. But for someone, that's a business owner, a police officer, a teacher, do they have the right to express their views online?
Yeah, and you need to be really careful. I mean, in Canada, we do have free speech, but there are limits. So a couple things. If you have an employment contract, take a look at that, because you may have signed off on certain codes of conduct or things you will and will not do. And just from a pragmatic standpoint, you don't want to put yourself in a position that can hurt your career or make your company look bad in a certain light because your views are very contrary to maybe what the organization's values are. So use your best judgment. Even if you do have protected or private pages, that doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to take a screenshot and share it. It can really hurt your career or your reputation.
Okay, let's talk about voting. Lots of people expected to hit the polls on Monday. Does your employer have to give you time off to vote?
Yes, and it's really important that employers know this, and you know this as well. You need to be given 3 consecutive hours when your polling station is open to vote. So if your polling station is open from 9 to 9 and you work an 11 to 7 shift, you've only got 2 hours on either end to vote, so your employer has to give you time off. It's up to them when they give you time off, but you do need to have those 3 hours clear. And the other thing that's really important is your pay cannot be docked for time off to vote. So if your employer is giving you time off to vote, they also have to make sure that they're not docking your pay for that.
Get brighter eyes in a blink.